Hi, it's Jez here from Nigezza.co.uk. Thanks for joining me today. So I have on my desk a pile of junk. So I have now been making junk journals for over a year. I started in January of 2020 and I have had different people go, why are they called junk journals, or what is a junk journal? I mean, they're called junk because traditionally you used junk. And a lot of people still use junk, but we also buy new things as well. So I thought I'd do a little bit of a sort of a beginner's sort of series on junk journals, and show you the type of things that you get for free, and then the type of things that people sort of tend to buy. So we have here some. So this was ripped apart from a cardboard box. So this is like the corrugated bit in between. Add texture. They're lovely on the front cover. Use them in tags. Use smaller sections. Great bit of freebie stuff there. This is some packaging. This was some Posh soap we got for Christmas. So Ed's now well trained. Anything that could vaguely be reused, he saves for me. So that would be lovely. That can get inked up and made vintage. This is the bit of paper that was attached to this. So pulled it off, and now I've got some lovely brown paper. I like the interesting fact that that's got lines on it. So got double there. Ordinary brown paper packaging. Save all of that. They come in different sort of colours and textures, and I love it all. This was, I've just recently joined the crafting club, and so this was some packaging in that. It was like, yeah, having that. Don't quite know what I'm going to do with it yet, but I thought I'm having that. So Boots is where I get my prescriptions from, and during lockdown, I think it was during 2020, it might have been last year, I can't remember, but they changed from, used to be white bags to these brown bags. And I remember Ed coming home, because I was shielding, and coming home with the first prescription that was in one of these, and I went, oh my god, it's a brown bag, and he went, I knew you'd like that. So so that's great. These I've used these in all sorts of ways, so always save them. So I get one a month at the very least. Window envelopes, particularly the brown ones, I get excited about because I tend to make vintage. So I have made sure that Ed now uses a knife when opening them, so that they're not too ripped. Right, I'm just refilming this little section. I realised when I was just checking on it, which I'm glad I did, that this packaging was the other way around and my address was like on complete view. So I think I was just saying about how we carefully open the envelopes now so they're not too ripped, and tend to get more white ones than brown ones, but you know, that's okay. I can vintage things up. Or indeed, I could use them white if I wanted a journal that wasn't sort of vintage. Wrapping paper is a great source of junk for your journals. This one's nice and thick. It's got a lovely feel to this. It's like almost brushed on this side, and it's nice and smooth on this side. I like this bright colour, and it's got that sort of it's almost gold. Thought it'd be nice for a boho journal, so I like that. Keep lots of wrapping. I particularly like, I'm just reaching across now, this wasn't in the original one, but I do like it when it's brown paper, so I got that. So I do rescue at Christmas. I was sensible last Christmas and limited myself to one bag. Then it wasn't big enough, so I had to get a bigger bag. I didn't go any bigger than that, so I was quite sensible, because there is a limit to how much junk you can use. Clothes labels are great. So this is a line from Primark, but it kind of looks all sort of vintage. And my son and his boyfriend, they buy these and they save them for me, along with Fat Face. They know I love Fat Face. And so I've done a video on Fat Face, altering Fat Face clothes tags. So yeah, but Finn went one better and cut me out the cloth label. Now that, I just love it, and I would have never have thought of it, but that is just gorgeous, and I really like the fact it's got 1895 on it, so it's old, except it isn't old, is it? Because it was made in 2022 probably, or 2021. So yeah, like that. So now I'm considering other cloth labels in my clothes and thinking, oh, I might take them out. I take a lot of them out, so I find them quite irritating. And the other thing they've rescued for me is the little plastic wax seals that you get on the top of Tanqueray gin bottles. They're superb. I've got loads of them because we are partial to the odd little drop of gin. So I just have them sort of, I use, you know, the sticky bit, and I can stick them to the end of my a shelf. So they're just there, easy on hand to use. And Amazon packaging is very good. So these make great, nice thick cardboard. You can either rip them up like I did in this. It might not be quite that thick, this stuff, but you might get some interesting corrugation from it. Or use them for covers. They make good covers. I'm not turning it over because that's my address, and that was the problem we had. So I'm just going to splice this bit into the rest of the video. This is brown paper bag, sort of lunch bag. I mean, you can buy these in packs, but I do get more excited at getting things that are free than you know, that came. That was, I think, Mother's Day. Ed went out to our favourite gelato place and came back with 2 gelatos in a brown paper bag, and I went, oh, has it managed not to get any ice cream on it? And he went, yes. So got that. And brown envelope. Really, these are good for making, again, covers for a journal. Really useful. So that's the sort of junk that I use a lot. As well as junk, I'll go to charity shops and buy things that were, you know, some people's junk, but now they're our treasure. So old, so 25p that was, old knitting patterns. So these are quite interesting. These make nice pages in journals. Just interesting features. The actual patterns themselves, they're like thin tissue. They've got a nice colour. Done all sorts with these. You can stamp on them. You can decoupage with them. You can just stick them on collage. Just make interesting features. And people sometimes cut out the images on the front and make like paper dolls with them. Paper dolls are things that Tim Holtz makes, and you can buy them, and he does them with photos, and they just make nice features on collages or tags or something. Music paper is something that people use a lot of, so I've bought a lot of these. So my son goes, oh, I can't believe you're tearing up paper, Mum. You know, music, he's a musician. But yeah, so they're beautifully coloured, and yeah, I love it. I mean, even the covers are really nice as well, and they can be used. This cost me £1. I've got, that's quite expensive actually for what I normally pay. So I've not actually used this one yet, but I would use the cover as well as all the sheets in a journal. What else might we find? You might be lucky enough, 50p this cost me. It's a photo album. So somebody's old photos, and photos are used a lot in journals. And then there was even, this was the wedding invite. So that's quite cool, from 1947. So yeah, charity shop, 50p. That would make. So yeah, I haven't done anything with that yet, but that's the thing. Sometimes you can you can be lucky enough in antique shops, or I think I bought this on eBay. I think this was during lockdown, the real lockdown, when you couldn't go out and shops weren't open. 1882 this is, and it's a notebook from somewhere. So it was started in 1881, and they're just notes. I think it was a railway notes, and I just loved it. And so far all I've done is gone, oh, I really like that, oh, I really like that. Haven't actually used it for anything, but it's there on my shelf. I've got really into old things. David Watson, foreman of something, Ardbrook Station. So yeah, how cool was that? Then in different antique shops and junk shops, pick up all sorts of things. I love all the adverts in this. They're just stunning. Really like them. I think this is out of copyright, so I was planning on scanning these so that I could use them over and over again. Beautiful colouring on it, really liked it. So so yeah, that was my plan for this one. 18.99. Get that scanned, get that reproduced. Just amazing little adverts. Love it. So the other thing I use a lot of is maps. So I loved this atlas. I've got some real proper maps, but I did think with this is that I might do an altered book, an altered travel themed, obviously, with the map, and just do one about holidays, maybe. That was my idea, old road signs. And I really liked the cover. I thought that was what, £1. That was what attracted me to this in the first place, was the cover. And then I just loved the colour of all the maps. So that's another thing I look out for. I found this, £1. I paid for this, £1. I've already ripped a bit out, but it's not been used, and it was just this notebook, and I thought, how interesting is that book? Presumably some sort of ledger that you would have to draw your own lines in and write in, but I just thought they were great. Make some interesting pages, fold it in half. That would be an interesting little page in a journal. So if you've got, there we go, these are some coffee dyed paper that I have done. If I was putting together a signature just being a collection of pages to form your book, that makes quite a nice little little page. Very interesting, liked it. And here's just another music book. I haven't got the price on this one, but I think it was less than £1, 49p. That's why I was saying that other one was quite a lot of money. But what I liked about this one is that I could take the pages out. So we've got these are sewn in signatures here, and I could just snip the threads. Okay. It's Beethoven. I can see my son going, Mum, it's Beethoven? Yeah, I know. Nobody wants it. They were selling it 49p. So snip these, and then the signature will come page will come out nicely without any ripping, and then that can form a page in a journal, and the music's the right way up, whereas often when you're using a music sheet this size, music would be the other way up. So that's why I quite like some of these smaller pages. So yeah, and you can see, we talk about a signature. If you look down there, you can see the folded over. So I've just took that from the middle of one signature, but there's other signatures which would have another middle there. That's another middle of another signature. So there's multiple signatures in this book. And I say, if I take another sheet here of coffee dyed paper, the lines are going the wrong way. I probably wouldn't use it this way, but you can see how you put that together, and we've got the beginnings of a signature here for a junk journal. Just a collection of pages folded in half, and that is what a signature is. I'm going to go back the other way, and you would take, I've got some of the envelopes here, so take your envelope, fold your envelope in half, and then that can go in here, and that's another page of a signature. And what you've got there is pockets, so if you're making tags, they could go in there. The window's interesting because you can see through it, but you would probably decorate that as well. And then with this, because of the way that this is folded, I'm probably just gonna, I'll just take my ruler, I can rip that. And the thing is about junk journaling is ripping's the way to go. So I can take that, go down here, there we go, so that's more usable. And then that could get folded in half, and it doesn't matter that your pages are different sizes. That just makes for it being interesting. So that is the start of something quite interesting going on there. Even the little bit of sellotape's fairly interesting. And then coming back the other way, and so that's the beginning of a junk journal. And lots of people sort of say, I don't know where to start. Well, there you go. That's it. Just take a collection of paper that you quite like, put it together, and that's it. And this has basically cost me very, very little. Some of it cost me absolutely nothing, like that and like that. Yeah, so that is already part of the signature. And the way you count your pages, people say pages, you count front and back. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, same down the other side. So that's 28. So that's 28 pages already there. And you can say take this and this could be the cover. And that would work really, really quite well. Oh, we've got this little bit of tissue, so that could be added in as well. You could, it's a bit tall, so you can fold it up, create a pocket. We could trim it off, and that is how that could be incorporated in it as well. So yeah, I'd probably cut this down and possibly make a little interesting bag out of it. But yeah, so that is the junk. That's the junk in a junk journal. Okay, so I hope that is useful. I'll do another video where I shall go through some other features of a junk journal, but I thought that is a start, and I've just gathered some stuff. If it doesn't turn out brilliant, it don't matter, you can practice, and your next one will be better. But what does it matter? This has cost virtually nothing. Sew it all together, experiment, add some decorations, and just have fun creating. Okay, so I hope that's given you a little bit of some ideas of, I think the important thing, just get on with it. Just get on with it and get trying. Okay, I'll start a playlist of junk journaling for beginners, and I shall be bringing you videos and putting them in that playlist. Do check out my other playlists where you'll see me making different things. I've got one series on making junk journals and series on just making ephemera and things. So check out all the different playlists, and hopefully find some inspiration and some ideas. And if you've got any questions, just drop them in a comment and I will be happy to answer. I'm not an expert, so I might not be able to answer them all, but I can at least try. Okay, thanks for joining me. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and then you'll get press the red bell and you'll get notified of when I upload. Generally it's 3 times a week, Sunday, Wednesday and Friday, but you know, I might do more, especially if they're little quick ones like this. All right, bye for now.